Hello and welcome. This is MasterFiggy giving you an anime review on the Castle of Cagliostro. Please enjoy. Let me start off this review by stating that this film was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who we all know is great in his work with Studio Ghibli, with such films that he's worked on like Spirited Away and Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. And if you've seen many of the Studio Ghibli films and wish to see more of Hayao Miyazaki's work, definitely watch this. This is the film that put him on the map of anime. This is Hayao Miyazaki's own interpretation of Lupin the Third from the Lupin the Third series. The story of this anime starts off with Lupin, aka Wolf, known as in the English dub from Streamline, and his accomplice Jigen steal money from a huge casino in Monte Carlo. Then they find out the money is counterfeit and track it all the way down to a small continental country where they find out there's a princess being held captive, butlers that are actually ninja assassins, and a crazy count that has something very unusual up his sleeve, that is planning something diabolical. Now I know the story itself isn't exactly original, but the actual setting of the film is quite unusual. It's more like a fairy tale feel mixed in with a modern day sort of setting. And it has a lot of essence with the princess and the soldiers and the castle, very beautifully well done. And then it has car chases, explosions, guns, everything you'd want in like a more modern day sort of film. So it's good to see that sort of blend, and it's quite original, and that's how Miyazaki sort of gets you in. He takes two things that are quite completely different and blends them together really well. So basically, since this is a Lupin movie, of course you'd have Lupin, Jigen, Fujiko, Goemon, and Zenigata present. And then of course you have the Princess and the Count of Cagliostro himself. All great characters in this film, absolutely amazing. Though of course the main characters, Lupin and his gang, are slightly different in this interpretation of them, because Miyazaki wanted this film to appeal more to kids, or family I should be saying, than just adults. So their characteristics would be different to than what most fans of the Lupin franchise would be used to. Then you have Clarice, the princess. She's your basic damsel in distress, and of course you have the Count of Cagliostro, also your basic generic villain. Nothing really special there, but it's the way they're presented. I think it's sort of very well done, with story, very enjoyable characters, what we usually see in most of Miyazaki's Ghibli movies, and I can't see really much wrong with it, other maybe if, I don't know, if you have something against generic sort of characters, then you may not like the Count or the princess. The animation in this is quite dated because this was made way back in 1979. Though of course it very much holds up considering its time period. It sticks to its its Lupin the Third style in a way. Then Miyazaki adds his own sort of essence to them, which is very interesting, and I think it works well with the story. The soundtrack in this film isn't too memorable. Like, sometimes I might hear one song and I might think it's good and listening to it in that scene, but looking back at it, I can't pick out any music that's really memorable in this film. In the English dub, I have to say the voice actors, or at least in the Streamline version, I have not seen the other version, but I do know in the Streamline version I thought the dub was actually very good. Bob Burgundy, quite known for being Porky Pig, I believe, in the Looney Tunes cartoons, was did a tremendous performance as Lupin, aka Wolf, as they called him in the streamline. And I have to say, he did a very good job, as did many of the cast members, but he stuck out the most to me because he played the main character. I did not listen to the Japanese, but yeah, I just love listening to the streamlined dub. I prefer it, to be honest with you, but maybe at some stage I'll listen to the Japanese, but definitely check out the streamline English dub when you get the chance. I don't want to reveal too much about this film. It's only about 71 minutes long, and I don't want to say too much, but I have to say the animation is absolutely incredible. The characters are very enjoyable. The music, I will admit, isn't very memorable, but the English dub in the streamline is very well done. Overall, the story, it's generic, I'll admit, but it has its quirks. If you like those sort of traditional stories about damsel in distress, our protagonist going to save her, you'll love it. And the main character himself, Lupin, is sort of like a weird James Bond mixed with Inspector Gadget, and it really works in this case. And overall, out of 10, I'll give this anime an 8.5. 8.5, yes, 8.5 out of 10. Because it was absolutely brilliant. It was the first anime that sort of got me in, or at least the first anime film to get me into anime and manga. And I found it really enjoyable. I have to admit, it was brilliant, and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you've already seen this film and look to check out something similar to it, I would recommend checking out the Lupin franchise films. Those are quite good, though the character is a little bit different than in Castle Cagliostro, but it's still very enjoyable. Or if you're looking for more of Miyazaki films, I would definitely recommend pretty much all of the Ghibli movies, if you have not watched all of them. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and goodbye.